record. So what is this limits? I will tell you the basic idea of limits. Limit is about the, it's about calculating the value or behavior of a function around a point. That's what limit is. Around a point. It's not about reaching the point. It is the behavior of the function about a point. How does a function behave around a particular point? That's what limit is. So in fact, it is told like this: limit, when we say x tends to a, f of x, if you do, then it will give some value L. This is the first part. And now it says that when this happens is when f of a, the value of f of a is some value. This is called the limit. This is how we evaluate the limit. This is simply, it's like a more or less initially it is like substituting the same value within that function. This is first part. Now there are two types of limits. So a limit exists means we have another topic called limit exists. A limit will exist. Limit exists means a situation like, we'll calculate two things. Limit extends to a plus, that is called right hand limit, f of x. That is equal to limit extends to a minus, which is called left hand limit, f of x. We'll evaluate on two sides. So I'll let you know about this. This is called right hand limit. This is called left hand limit. These two should be equal. Then only you will say that a limit will exist. If they are not equal, limit will not exist. Limit is not defined. We'll say the function, we'll also say that the function is discontinuous at that point. If LHL is not equal to RHL, function is discontinuous at that point. So we'll say this function is discontinuous at that point. So this is how we will tell a function is discontinuous at that point if LHL is not equal to RHL. Okay, ma?
Okay.
Now we have the next part of the theory. So that is like, so how
So
do you, sorry ma?
I got the physics test results on momentum.
Okay, okay. So how did you do?
I received a 7.5 out of 10.
Oh, that's good. That's good
Yeah.
only. Not bad, not bad. It's good only. Very good. Very good. So you'll improve a lot. We'll see.
Yeah, like I told you about the last question.
Uh,
The
I
I
didn't
knew
know.
how to do it. It's just because I didn't have time.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
saw.
You told me. Yes, yes, you told me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why my 2 marks were gone because of it.
Okay. Otherwise, you would have scored very, very well, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not bad. 7.5 is not a bad thing. 7.5 itself is a good score. Even in Indian IIT, Indian standard, 7.5 is a good score, Amma.
Oh, okay.
That is for sure. No doubt about that. 7.5 is a good score. Okay.
Okay.
Good, good. Now let's see this. This one is like, let us evaluate some problem. Let's see or solve one problem. Let us say limit extends to 2. Limit extends to 2. Let us find x plus 3 whole square. So I want to do this. It is very simple. Now you put x equal to 2. So simply, so it is 2 plus 3 whole square. We'll put just x equal to 2 here. 2 plus 3 whole square. You got 5 square. That is 25. Really fine. No issue. So for such kind of thing, there is no issue. You don't have to worry at all. Now let us solve one more question. Like, I want to do limit x tends to 2, the same thing. Suppose I want to solve x cube minus 8. I want to solve this. So you will simply substitute x equal to 2, that's fine. 2 cube minus 8 you will get, that's fine. 2 cube is 8 and you got 8 minus 8, that is equal to 0. Here also there is no issue at all. You got 0 and you got definite. So first thing is that when you are solving the limits, okay, that part I will tell you later, after. Okay, now there is no issue, right? The issue comes in after when I take this kind of problem. When I consider that limit extends to 3, so it's like x power 1 x cube minus 27. I'll consider this x cube minus 27 divided by x minus 3. Suppose I want to evaluate this. Now substitute 3, what happens? Directly blindly I substituted 3. So it is like 3 cube minus 27 divided by 3 minus 3. So 3 cube minus 27, it is like 27 minus 27 divided by 3 minus 3. 3 minus 3 is 0 and 27 minus 27 is 0. And then you have ended up with a form called 0 by 0, which is not defined. Not defined. This is called indeterminate form. Indeterminate form. All the time when you are substituting the limit, you have to check this whether you are ending up with any form of this kind. This is called indeterminate form. Clear? So when you are ending up with such thing, indeterminate form, you have to do something about this function. And then you have to alter the function. You have to alter the function.
Like factorize it, right?
Yeah, factorize it. And I call that factorization. There will be some term which will be hurting us. I'll call this as hurting term. This is my own terminology. The hurting term will factor out and will cancel that hurting term. Hurting term is something which will generate the 0. Okay. So you will factorize and remove that hurting term, cancel that hurting term, and then after that you will evaluate the limit. So let's evaluate the hurting term over here. So we do this, limit extends to 3. You have x cube minus 27 whole divided by x minus 3 you have. The hurting term you can evaluate is very simple. Here in this case, limit extends to 3. You have simply x minus 3 will be factoring out. So you have x square plus 3x plus 9. This is what you get as the factors, whole divided by x minus 3. Now you see the x minus 3 is the one which is giving the zeros first. So cancel it off.
Yeah.
So cancel it off. And after that, then you simply happily you can substitute x equal to 3. So x square plus 3x plus 9. So you have this when you plug in, so you get 9 plus 9 plus 9, which is nothing but 27.
Okay.
So now no issues of substituting 3.
Yeah.
So there is something called the hurting term. I call this as hurting term in the limits. The hurting term is the one which will always generate the 0 by 0 form, or there is infinity by infinity form. Okay, so that kind of forms it will generate all the time. So that kind of thing we have to alter a bit by factorization or by doing something. We have to alter some few things, and in order to solve the questions. Clear, Amma? So these are some of the, this is one thing you have to learn. And now we have certain formulas like in the limits. So limit x tends to a, we have x power n minus a power n divided by x minus a will give us n into a power n minus 1. This is formula 1. And we have another one, limit x tends to a. You have x power n minus a power n divided by x power m minus a power m. Suppose you have this kind, then you will get it like n by m into a to the power of n minus n. So this is how you get. So we'll prove this second one by using the first one. Okay. You know how to factorize this one? This one we can prove this any to a power n minus 1. So I'll tell you how to do that. So these two formulas will derive. Using the first one, we'll derive the second one. This methodology is very, very important. How to solve
Okay.
this. Now let us solve this. The first one is we will solve limit extends to a x power n minus a power n divided by x minus a over here. So how do we do that is x minus a will take and then divide this. So how do we divide? So here, if you will look only at this. So x is multiplied with x power n minus 1. If I multiply, I will get x power n. And then x power n minus 1 will be multiplied with a. So I get a into x power n minus 1. This is what I get. And now subtract, change the signs, and then add. And now you get a into x power n minus 1 minus a power n. This is what you get. When you change the signs, you have to add. Okay. Now we will do the next one. I need a into x power n minus 1 once again. So what I have to with what I have to multiply, I need multiply with a into x power n minus 2. I multiply with this. So if I multiply x with a into x power n minus 2, I get a into x power n minus 1. So a into x power n minus 1 once again. And again a into x power n minus 2, you got multiply with minus a. So you get minus a into x power n minus 2. And now change the signs once again. Change the signs and then you have to add. So when you add it, this is gone. And then you get a into x power n minus 2 minus a power n. Right?
Okay.
You have to change the signs and then you have to add. Got it right?
Okay.
And now
So
I need a
in
into
the
x.
first part, like you multiplied it with
See, I want x power n.
yeah.
Here first look only for x. With what I should multiply to get x power n? X. With what should I multiply to get x power n? X power n minus 1. Because I know that x into x power n minus 1 is nothing but x power n. Right?
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
x power n I got. And now this x power n minus 1 I need to multiply with minus a.
Okay.
So a into x power n minus 1. Right? And
Yeah.
now you see, you got to change the signs later. Change the signs. So here plus sign is there, change it to minus. Minus sign is there, change it to plus. And then add them.
Okay.
So when you
Okay. Good.
add up, the x power n is cancelled out. So what is
Yeah.
rest is a into x power n minus 1 minus a power n. Right? And now
Yeah.
look to get a power n minus 1, a into x power n minus 1. How do I get? So x into what I should multiply to get a into x power n minus 1. So that is nothing but a into x power n minus 2. A into x power n minus 2, if I multiply, I will get a into x power n minus 1.
Yeah.
Now a into x power n minus 2, I need to multiply back with minus a.
Okay.
So you get, sorry, here a square I will get, I forgot this.
Yeah.
A square x into x power n minus 2. This is what I get. And now I need to get a square x power n minus 2. So what I had to multiply? So x into, I need a square, right? A square x power 1 less than this. That is x power n minus 3. So if I multiply, this is x power 1 all the time, right? So this is a
Okay.
square into x power n minus 3. So here you look at it, a square into x power n minus 2. And again here, what do I get? Here a square into x power n minus 3 is what I get. And now you see a square into x power n minus 3. When I multiply with minus a, I get minus a cube into x power n minus 3. Like this it goes. It goes on. Okay. This
Okay.
division goes on. So it goes on again. You have to change the plus, and again this goes on, goes on, goes on, goes on until
Yeah.
you get a into it goes on until you get the last term will be like a into it will be a into x power a power n minus 1. That will be the last term you will end up. You
Okay.
end up with the last term as a power n minus 1. That's the end of the division. Okay, that's the end of the division. This is done by the normal division method. Okay, this is
Okay.
done by normal division method. So you can write x power n minus a power n is nothing but you can write it as x minus a can be factored out into x power n minus 1 plus a into x power n minus 2 plus a square into x power n minus 3 and so on up to a power n minus 1. These are the factors what you get, right? And now what we do is when you divide this x power n minus a power n divided by x minus a, when you divide with x minus a on both sides, what you are going to get is x power n minus 1 plus a into x power n minus 2
N minus 2.
plus so on a square into x power n minus 3 and so on. What you are going to get is a power n minus 1. This is what you are going to get, right?
Okay.
And now
Yeah.
what we are doing, we are applying the limit on either side. When you apply the limit on either side, limit x tends to a x power n minus a power n divided by x minus a becomes this one only, limit of this one, right? Limit x tends to a, this entire quantity, x power n minus 1 plus a into x power n minus 2, right, into a square into x power n minus 3, like this it goes. Okay, ma? Clear?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now it's the easiest part. Now only thing is I'll rewrite this thing once again. Limit x tends to a, you have x power n minus a power n divided by x minus a. Usually cancelling the things is what we are used to, so we do that. Limit x tends to a, and this happens to be x minus a multiplied by x power n minus 1 plus a into x power n minus 2, right? This is all we can do. So this goes on up to a power n minus 1. To this point, the division continues, divided by x minus a. So your x minus a is out. And now how many terms will be there? That's all we have to check it. So let's put it. So when I substitute x equal to a here, I can simply substitute here because the hurting term x minus a is out. Got it? No. So if I substitute x equal to a here, what happens directly? I get a power n minus a power n divided by a minus a is what I get. It will give 0 by 0 form. I hope you understood.
Yeah.
So that's the reason we are cancelling the hurting term x minus a on numerator and denominator. When you cut that off and substitute x equal to a, you get a power n minus 1 plus a into a power n minus 2 plus a
Okay.
square into a power n minus 3. Just check it how it will come. So on up to a power n minus 1. Now you see every term you just check. It's a power n minus 1 plus a power n minus 1 because it is a power 1 into a power n minus 2. That is a power n minus 1. And again, this is a square into a power n minus 3. That is again a power n minus 1. So this is all add ups to n terms actually. This will give total of n terms. A power n minus 1 is added to n times. So you can take a power n minus 1 common. So you can write 1 plus 1 plus 1. So on up to n times. 1 is added to 10 times, that is 10. 1 is added to n times, it is n. So it is n into a power n minus 1. That's how you get the answer. That's how you get
Okay.
the answer. Clear?
Yeah.
Now, same logic will apply now to solve this problem. Limit x tends to a, x power n minus a power n divided by x power m minus a power m. And now what I do is, I will cleverly do x minus a divided by x minus a. I'll multiply and divide with x minus a. Okay. Now see what happens. So I will write like this. Limit x tends to a, x power n minus a power n divided by x minus a. I will exchange this one with this. Denominator exchange. Now into x minus a divided by x power m minus a power m. Well, you can write like this. Okay, I just swapped this one with this. Swapped. Clear? Now, the next step, limit. We'll separate the limits. We can separate the limits that is there. So that's an important funda. X power n minus a power n divided by x minus a into limit x minus a, x tends to a, x minus a divided by x power m minus a power m. Clear? And now this part is what? This part is n into a power n minus 1. Just now we solved it. Right? And now what
Okay.
about this
So
part?
it's just like it's kind of like a repetition.
Repetition. Yes, yes, of course. So this part
Yeah.
happens to be 1 by m into a power m minus 1. Because it is like an inverse of this one, right? It's like an inverse of this. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, I will do that. Okay, maybe trouble. You see this. So what we do is limit extends to say 1 by x power m minus a power m divided by x minus a. Like this we can write.
Okay.
Now, if you solve for this, what do you get? M into a power m minus 1 for this one alone
Okay.
in the denominator. So that's what we have written in denominator.
Okay.
If you have trouble, please let me know. Maybe confusing.
Wait,
So n into a
how
power
did
n
you get
minus 1.
like that
Sorry,
m
ma?
a raised to? How did you get like the m a raised to m minus 1?
What is the formula for this? Just now we solved n into a power n minus 1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And now, can I topple this like a fraction? So suppose I have 3 by 5. I can write it as 1 by 5 by 3.
Oh, okay, okay.
The
Ah,
same thing
okay.
I did.
All
Now,
right.
we'll solve the limit for this one. If you solve the limit for this, you will get this answer. Instead of n, I have m here.
So m a raised to m minus 1. Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That happened in the denominator now.
Okay.
So it is n into a power n minus 1 divided by m into a power n minus 1, right?
Yes.
So n by m into a to the power of n minus 1 minus of m minus 1.
Mm, okay.
So just take the subtraction, you will get n minus m. 1 gets cancelled. So it is
Yeah.
n by m. Sorry, this is n by m into a power n minus m. This is what you
Okay.
get.
Okay. All right.
Clear? Now this is how we solve the problem. Okay, clear? No.
Yeah.
Now based on this, some questions will come. Okay, that we'll deal later. This is one kind of stuff. Now another thing is like you have, so how good you are able to utilize this kind of problems is very important. That plays the role. Now another kind of questions what you see is there's another formula which is limit x tends to 0 sine x by x happens to be 1. This is very important formula in limits. Limit x tends to 0, sine x by x happens to be 1. Limit x tends to 0, cos x happens to be 1. And limit x tends to 0, tan x by x happens to be 1. These three you have to remember. There's a proofs for this. Okay, that we'll see later if required. If they are asking you, once you send the scribbles, I will have a look at it, and then if it is required, we'll deal with the explanation of how limit extends to 0 sine x by x is 1. So that's a little bit beyond, that's a little bit involved geometry will be there. So these are three limits minimum you have to remember. The extension of these limits are there. Please note it, Amma.
Okay.
The extension of these limits is like when you have limit extends to 0, sine mx divided by x. Sine mx divided by x is actually equal to m. So this is based on the earlier formula. See, what you have to, while solving these limits, what you have to ensure is that sine of whatever is there, this is called argument. This is called argument.
Okay.
So this argument, whatever is there here, that has to match with the denominator while always evaluating the limits. Okay, that has to always match with the denominator. So here, while solving this one, while solving the limit extends to 0, sine x by x, why it is equal to 1 is because the reason that this argument x is matching with this. So the answer is 1. It's not like cancelling x and I got something here and then got it 1. So there is a lot of thing behind this. This is the formula. In this formula, how to apply the formula is this x has to match with this. And now here mx, here mx is there, but here x is there. So to make it a match, what we do is I multiply and divide with the number m. So it becomes sine mx, right? Sine of mx divided by, now it becomes mx.
Okay.
And now if x is equal to 0, mx is also equal to 0, right? If I put x
Yeah.
equal to 0, then if I multiply with m, with the number m, mx is also equal to 0. So if,
Yeah.
in the sense that if x tends to 0, mx also tends to 0. So everything has matched. If there is a constant that comes out of the limit, constants comes out of the limit. So limit mx tends to 0, sine mx. So you see entire thing has matched. Sine mx divided by mx happens to be 1. So this is how to solve. Yeah, one. This limit alone is equal to 1. So but you have m is multiplying that. That is m into 1. That happens to be m. This one way of approach. Approach 1. There are many approaches for this same kind of problem. So how do we approach? The other way of approach is there. That is one way is to multiply with m. So the base formula is this. You need to know both the approaches, whatever I tell you, both the approaches, so that you will be able to handle the limits. You are telling the infinity issue. I am having the issue at the infinity means this approaches was not delivered to you properly. Okay, this is the approach 1. Second approach is there. Can I clear this?
Just a minute.
Yeah, okay. Please no.
Okay, sir.
Okay, ma. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll do now. So the next one is limit. The next approach is limit extends to 0. We got to show that sine mx divided by x is equal to 1. Both the approaches, you keep this in mind. This is very nice approach. This is another approach. So in this one, what we do is let mx is equal to y. Let mx is equal to y when x tends to 0, y also tends to 0, right? Why it is so? When you put x equal to 0, y equal to 0, right?
Yeah.
So y also tends to 0. So wherever x is there, I can substitute y by m.
Okay.
Okay, just do that blindly. So x is equal to 0. What we do is little bit of what we do is instead of x, we'll write mx tends to 0. Right. This is the simple slight modification. because we want y here. So mx tends to 0 will write. Sin mx divided by x will write first. Okay, first we'll write this. And now mx is nothing but y. Let's substitute that. So limit that happens to be limit mx is y tends to 0 because mx is equal to y. So we substituted y tends to 0. Sin of mx is nothing but y divided by x is equal to y by m. Let's substitute that y by m. Right. And now you see what happens. Limit y tends to 0. What is 1 by y by m? 1 by 5 by 3. Suppose you have like this. You write it as 3 by 5. So this
Yeah.
whatever is the bottommost that goes to the top. So that means m comes to the top. M times sin y by y. So m is a constant that comes out of the limit. So m is a constant that comes out of the limit. Limit y tends to 0. You have sin y by y. Once again, sin y by y anyway goes to 1. So m times 1, that is m. So this is the another approach number 2. So both the approaches are very, very useful. So depending upon situation, you can use the way you like. But the second approach, this one will become very useful because you don't know sometimes which number you have to multiply. At that time, the substitution will help beautifully. This is called a substitution approach. This helps beautifully sometimes. You don't know which one, whether I have to multiply, I have to divide, little bit of confusion relies in the head. It will simply take you to the answer just like that. Okay, ma? So this second approach, I prefer the second approach. Even the first approach is also fine. Both the things are very nice tools in order to solve the limits. So this is the next methodology to handle the limits. So this is one. Can I clear this? Okay.
Yeah, you can clear it. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Now we have another one. This limit extends to 0, y cos x goes to 0. You know that the cosine value, cos x, if you are right, why it goes to 0? Because when you put x equal to 0, I get cos 0, that is equal to 1. So the reason. So similarly, the ones in limit you have extends to 0. If I give tan mx divided by x, the same kind of approach if you do, you get m. The answer is m. So here one condition that m should not be equal to 0. Anything else it can be. It can be anything. So
Okay.
m should not be equal to 0. That is the condition you have to remember. Now the another one we have. So the next one is limit. We have another important thing. Limit extends to 0. 1 minus cos 2x divided by x square. This little bit of trigonometry formulas will arrive 1 minus cos 2x divided by x square. That the answer will be 2 for you. So why it is so, we'll check this one. So here we have a formula of cos 2x, which is in trigonometry. We have the formula of cos 2x. Cos 2x is 1 minus 2 sine square x. This is a formula. So similarly, if you can write 2 sine square x, that happens to be 1 minus cos 2x. 1 minus cosine 2x. So when you give the substitution here, what happens is limit extends to 0. So this becomes 2 sine square x divided by x square. So that is 2 into limit. You can write x tends to 0. Sine square x, I can write it as sin x into sin x. Sin x multiplied by sin x, that is sin square x. X square is x into x. Right. So
Yeah.
here, so the first limit extends to 0 sin x by x, that is 1. Limit extends to 0 sin x by x, that is also 1. So 2 into 1 into 1, I can write that is the answer is 2.
Yeah.
So these are the formulas which a little bit you had to have a grip on these. So similarly,
Just a minute. I just
yeah,
need
yeah, yeah.
to.
Okay, right, right. No problem. Please note.
Okay, sir.
Okay, Mark, right. So we'll clear this off. The next one is limit. Another one, limit extends to 0. 1 minus cos x divided by x square. This is the same kind of thing. Once again, 1 minus cos x divided by x square is half. So these two things you have to remember. And now here the substitution comes in like 1 minus cos x happens to be 2 sine square x by 2. See, that 2x, what are the things is that you have to observe this. 1 minus cos 2x is 2 sine square x. How to remember this formula is very easy. Here if 2x is there, half of that will come here. X is there, half of that is x by 2. That comes here. So this is how we can remember the formula. Suppose I give you 1 minus cos mx. In fact, you will get 2 sine square mx by 2.
Okay.
As simple as that. If mx is there, half of it will become half. Here you get sine square. So that's most important. This is the thing which you got to remember. And now when you substitute here, it limit extends to 0. Limit extends to 0. So you have 2 sine square x by 2. 2 sine square x by 2 whole divided by x square is what we have. And now it comes in 2 is a constant which comes out of the limit. So you can take limit extends to 0 sin x by 2 divided by x. You can write whole square. I hope you understood this step. This is like sin x by 2 into sin x by 2 divided by x into x. So for entire thing, you'll apply the limit, you can take the square. So this becomes 2 into, what is the value of m here? Half. So it is half whole square. Limit sin mx by x is m. M value is half. So half whole square. So 2 into 1/4, which is half. Hence the answer.
Okay. Wait, I'm just noting it down.
Yeah, please. Please.
Okay, sir.
Okay, ma. Next we'll come across a function called exponential function. What is e power x will come across? This is 1 plus x by factorial 1 plus x square by factorial 2 plus x cube by factorial 3. What is factorial? I'll tell you. It's pretty simple. It goes on in infinite series. What is a factorial function is? Suppose I want factorial 3. 3 into 2 into 1. 3 to 1, you start multiplying. Whatever number comes in between, you have to multiply. So that is 6. Suppose I want to do factorial 4. That is 4 into 4 to 1. You just write 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. The down count you can give from the number whatever we're giving here. So 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, that is 24. Similarly, if you want to try factorial 5, 5 to 1, you just have to write all the numbers and multiply. 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So that happens to be 120. Suppose if you do factorial 6, what is factorial 6 now? So you can give a try, that will be 720. Okay, ma. So this is how the factorial function is evaluated. So you can try this 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So this answer will be 720. So that is what is factorial function, and this is called e power x. And the value of e will be evaluated as approximately the value of e is 2.718. This is approximate value of e. Make a note. Make a note.
Okay, sir.
Am I clear?
Yeah.
Okay, this is called E. So we will end up some limits based on E. Limit x tends to 0, e power x minus 1 by x is equal to 1. So we can easily evaluate this. Why? Because you see e power x expansion, e power x is 1 plus x by factorial 1 plus x square by factorial 2 and so on, infinity. Right? So we will put this here. The expansion of e power x will put here. So this becomes limit x tends to 0. E power x is 1 plus x by factorial 1 plus x square by factorial 2 plus x cube by factorial 3 and so on. This entire infinite series, minus 1 whole divided by x. Now you see this 1 and this 1 gets cancelled out. After cancelling out, you will find one beautiful thing now. Please note up to here. I'll tell you.
Yeah, I'm doing it. Yeah. Okay, sir.
Okay, ma. Now, after putting this, what we are left with after cancelling 1 is limit x tends to 0. You will end up with x plus x square by factorial 2 plus x cube by factorial 3 plus so on up to infinity whole divided by x. You see every factor here contains x up to infinity. So I can take limit x tends to 0. I can take x as common here. If I take x as common, I'll end up with 1 plus x by factorial 2 plus x square by factorial 3 and so on up to infinity. All divided by x I am left with. X gets cancelled. Now if I substitute x equal to 0, you see this 1 plus 0. Every term is 0. 0 by 2 factorial is 0. 0.
Oh, yeah.
0. Entire infinite terms are 0. So the answer is 1.
Yeah.
Okay, ma, please note, my daughter is like...
It's okay.
Yes, sir. She took a glass bottle. It's very dangerous condition she is in. Okay. She wants that glass bottle. What to do? Okay, ma'am. Note,
Yeah, I've noted it.
Completed.
Yeah.
Right. So this is the e power x. And now there is another thing. So under same token, if you want to solve for limit extends to 0, e to the power of ax minus 1 divided by x. That happens to be a. If you work out, you will get it. Not a big thing. Why it is so? If you want to write the expansion of e power ax, it becomes 1 plus, instead of x, ax you have to put ax plus ax whole square this time divided by factorial 2 plus ax whole cube divided by factorial 3 and so on. This is how you get infinite series. So once again you can plug in here. So you get limit extends to 0. So once you plug in 1 plus ax whole square whole divided by factorial 2 and so on, and this is an infinite series. Whole you will subtract 1 from it divided by x, and now you see 1 gets cancelled once again, and the story is same. You will, this time you will pick x as common once again. You see this. So, note it. Wait.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now when you try to evaluate this, so it becomes limit x tends to 0. This time instead of x you will have ax plus a square x square divided by factorial 2 plus a cube x cube divided by factorial 3 and so on. This goes up to infinite series. Whole divided by x is there. And now you pick x once again as common. So it becomes limit x tends to 0. X is common once again. So you will get a plus a square x divided by factorial 2. We have taken only x, right? A we are not disturbing. Let the a be there. So a cube x square divided by factorial 3. So on up to infinity. Every term we have an x. So whole divided by x, x gets cancelled once again. That's the Hutting term. Hutting term we are cancelling out. And then when you substitute, you get, substitute x equal to 0, you get a plus 0 plus 0, so on. So the answer is a. So when you substitute x equal to 0, every term goes to 0.
Okay.
Clear, no? So these are the formulas what you have to know. Another set of formulas what you need to know while solving limits is logarithms. So what are these logarithms? See, it's like if for any natural number a, or we'll take a real number, if a power n is equal to x, if a power n is equal to x, then the power n can be written as log x to the base a. The power n can be written as log x to the base a. This is called logarithms are inverse of the power functions. Okay, power functions, they are called exponential functions. They are the inverse of the power functions. Logarithms are the inverse of the power functions. Okay ma. So here the logarithm formula. So how to write the converting the logarithm? So I tell you, suppose log x to the base a is there, is equal to n. Suppose they give you like this. How to remember? You see this base always. This is called base of the logarithm. This one is called argument. This is called argument. And now this base will take the power. So x becomes a power n. This you transport like this. This you transport like this. So x is equal to a power. So if a is equal to e, these are called natural logarithms. Natural logarithms are those whose base is e. So they are written as ln x. That means log x to the base e. This is what we use in limits. All the limits, they are used with this. In this kind of condition, the base will be e.
Okay, okay.
Okay, ma? Next, there are
Yeah.
few more formulas. So you have limit x tends to 0. There is another definition of e, 1 plus x whole power 1 by x. That is e. 1 plus x whole power 1 by x is e. And there is another thing, limit x tends to infinity, 1 plus 1 by x whole power x, that also happens to be e. This is the definition of the number e.
Okay.
And now after this, we have some formulas like log p to the base e plus log p to the base a will take general. Log q to the base a is log pq to the base a. And log p to the base a minus log q to the
Oh, these
base.
formulas I know.
You know these things? Very good then.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
are thorough with this, then there is no issue at all. 90% of the students are struggling here with these formulas. What to do?
Oh,
Yeah. If you are thorough with this log formulas, then absolutely no problem. You will play with the limits just like that. Limits is a piece
these
of cake.
formulas
Piece
I
of
know.
cake. If you are knowing this formulas, limits is a piece of cake for you. Nothing.
Oh, okay.
Nothing. If you know this, limits is nothing. 90% of the toughest problems are based on these logarithm formulas only.
Okay.
If you know this thing, that nothing, your infinity thing, everything can be solved just like that. If you have idea about the logarithm formulas, 90% of students are struggling with this because they don't know how to handle the logarithm properly.
Okay. Well, logarithm is not that tough topic.
It's not that tough topic. It's not that tough. People are struggling here. What to do?
Oh.
Yeah, what to do? It's like that. It's not like I tell you, a student just above the average is fine. The student below,
Okay.
just like below the average, is like struggling here. With when the logarithms comes, they are like, sir, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. My brain is not working. It stops still. I am stuck. Okay. So like situation we are seeing. Okay, fine. These are the things what you have to know. This is about the logarithms. Yeah, the another things like uh, e to the power of ln. Then you must be knowing this. E power ln a is a, right? These things you must be knowing. Okay, e power ln a is a. This is another formula what we use in logarithms. And you know ln s is inverse function of e power x. Inverse function of e power x. Ln x is the inverse function of e power x. So that's most important. And then based on that, we have one more formula. Limit x tends to 0, log of 1 plus x divided by x, that is equal to 1. And you are, I hope you know this log 1 to the base e is always 0. Any base, log 1 to the any base is always 0. So Amat, tomorrow can you send me the scribbles? What were the problems asked on logarithms? Sorry.
Yes, sure.
Yeah,
I
this
will
one.
send it to today
Limits,
itself.
limits, limits,
After,
limits,
yeah, about the
limits,
limits. Yeah, okay, okay.
limits and derivative.
Yeah, okay,
So
okay.
tomorrow we'll have the discussion on this limits and derivative.
And if you need, I think
Hmm.
I will also download the logarithm PDF from the school.
Not required, not required. Logarithms is not,
Not
PDF is
required.
not required. So that
Okay.
what are the limits questions what they are asking you at school?
Okay, okay. I will
So
send
that,
it to.
yeah, you please send it so that I will go through that, and tomorrow we'll have a straight discussion of all the problems. We'll just get it solved so that
Okay, sir.
you will have the thorough knowledge on that. And we have a different, I don't know in which direction they are asking. So I covered all the formulas which are needed. So
Yeah, yeah,
there
yeah.
are advanced formulas also, more than this, advanced formulas are also there. But I don't know which direction they are asking, whether they are whether they are concentrating on the algebraic side of the limits. The trigonometric side is there, logarithm side is there. Many directions are there. Okay. So there is another formula is like, there is one more formula. This is a little bit advanced one. So if you have limit x tends to 0, 1 plus f of x whole to the power of 1 by g of x. Suppose in this format if you have, then if in the condition that if f of x is equal to 0 at x equal to 0, that means f of 0 is equal to 0 and g of 0 is also 0, but limit x tends to 0, f of x by g of x exists. This limit exists. This limit exists. In this case, you can write this as limit x tends to 0. In fact, e to the power of limit x tends to 0, f of x by g of x. I'll rewrite this. Maybe you will get confused. I'll rewrite this. Limit x tends to 0. Suppose you have 1 plus f of x by g of x. This kind of thing. Little bit advanced formula divided by g of x. Then you can write this as e to the power of limit x tends to 0, f of x by g of x. So you can write this, provided the conditions are that f of 0 should be 0. Note, to apply this formula, conditions. What are the conditions to apply this formula? F of x should be, f of 0 should be 0. G of 0 should be 0. And limit x tends to 0, f of x by g of x will exist. These are the conditions on which this formula is built. Okay, there is a way to build this formula. There is a different, okay, that once we go into depth, maybe on the limits, you will understand this.
I'm just noting it down.
Yeah, noted. How this is useful, you may ask me.
Okay.
Okay, I'll tell you how this is useful. So this is useful in carrying out this kind of things. The first formula what we have seen, 1 plus x whole power 1 by x. You see at x equal to 0, x equal to 0, x equal to 0, this is also equal to 0. So if you apply, if you take it, f of x is equal to what? X, and g of x is equal to x. You take like this. So it becomes e to the power of limit x tends to 0, f of x by g of x, no? So it is x by
Yeah.
x. Cancel it. 1 e power 1 e. Suppose I ask you limit x tends to 0, 1 plus sin x whole power 1 by x. How do you calculate this? Simple. E to the power of limit x tends to 0, sin x by x. You know sin x by x is 1. The
Yeah.
center limit is 1. So e power 1, the answer is e.
Okay.
So tremendous advanced problem this is. Just like that, you can solve some of the limits. I tell you, this is like a piece of cake if you learn all the tricks in trade.
Oh,
2 minutes you will solve.
look
Minutes.
hard. The questions look hard, but the formula, if you
If
use
you
the formula,
use the formula, this one is like a tremendous formula. It's like a tremendous formula. And now this formula, if you can utilize this formula, 90% of your limit problems, which looks really hard, will go in air just like that. They'll fly off in air just like that. That much useful is this formula. Fatafat, you will get the answers fatafat with ease.
yeah.
So if I give sin mx whole power 1 by nx e power m by n, directly you will see, you will look at the limit and tell the answer. Then you gain some expertise. Such kind of questions, you will look at the limit and give the answer. Okay, ma? Okay. You please send me the scribbles, so tomorrow we'll see.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, ma. Right. Bye.
Okay,
See you.
fine. Take care.
Okay,
Yeah.
ma.